So, cam good. I don't know. But these things are sent to triers, eh? So I guess to start the stream again, hello, my name's My name is Trismegistus, my name's not YouTube. And we're going to be playing some more Factorio Space Age. At the end of yesterday's stream, oh yeah, you said about the Satisfactory, what is the Pioneer video, that might be interesting. You can't post links, I don't think, in the YouTube chat, but I might have to search for that. I was wondering, about extending it to... The trouble is I've moaned extensively about Satisfactory, so I haven't even finished it, I mean, I haven't picked up on building that train network like I said I was going to, because I just find the game tedious. But I think the lore is interesting and stuff, and it's probably worth exploring. But having not actually finished it and not actually heard everything Ada's got to say, it's probably not appropriate just yet. But yeah. So what I did after the stream is I very sort of simply just drove around in the tank. I dropped down, the landing pad, and then also the bits and pieces. We're gonna pick this up because we don't want to build here. But I went for a bit of a drive round to see if there were any suitable islands. Now we haven't fluked out and got a supermassive island right close by, but we do have ones that are probably viable. I'm not necessarily going to do a lot of stuff here. I'm thinking maybe this one rather than that one. Oh, that's got quite a nice big patch, but it depends on what it's doing with glyphs inside it and stuff. We need to go and mine this guy up first off, obviously, in order to get that research. But the intention really is to do the first pink science, and then I'll kind of head back to Nauvis. I'll make some EMPs and what have you, but I don't feel the Nauvis base is really there yet, because obviously we're trying to get the achievement. Can we just pick this up? Yeah, pick this up. Trying to get the achievement that, do the alien science before purple and gold. Can I get out there? No, I can't. But that means I've not done any purple and gold sciences, which feels very weird to me. I've been fair. Okay. So if I ever complete Satisfactory, I'll be with Michael Hendricks. It'll be with a Michael Hendricks playstyle. I'm afraid I've never really watched Michael Hendricks. What would that actually entail then? Is that because I know, somebody recommended him to me for, so that's that one done. For, he had like a strategy for doing Warp Torio or something, which I don't think is supported anymore. It doesn't actually work with version 2. Yeah, so I don't think I've ever watched any of his stuff. I'll be honest, I don't watch a lot. It's one of these things, it's like, I don't tend to watch a lot of other... It's like Busman's Holiday, I don't... I play it enough and stream it enough and do videos about it. Watching it in my leisure time as well is, would be a choice. I don't know why I left the tank there, given it's sat in earthquake, lightning zone. But yeah, I hope you're doing well. Pop that there. Right, so let's have a look at this. Does it have cliffs on it and stuff like that? It doesn't particularly. Okay. It's not a huge island, but we don't need to do a lot of stuff, you see. Okay. So, what's our next task? Is it just hand mining some scrap, I think, isn't it? So, craft holmium ore. Okay. So, we're going to need a bit of scrap. In fact, we probably picked up about, didn't we? Yeah. But doesn't that mean me making a furnace? No, I have to... I've not got any... Does the big one not give you blue circuits then? Let's get a bit more. Let's take it up to 450. I thought that vault one gave you the blue circuits directly, but I guess we just need to do a bit of the old recycling to get them. Honestly, I've ever had a large-scale batch hand feeding. Oh, really? Okay. Wow. So it sort of sets up a load of machines and just throws the material in, sort of thing. I always end up crapping on Satisfactory. I should do a video like comparing them or something. It's just I don't. It just always feels sort of mean. It's not that I don't hate the game. It's not that. It's just for me it needs more automation. And what do we do with this? Is crafting the holmium plate. Now I did bring some furnaces, didn't I? And I've got one massive holmium ore. Okay. Now I should be able to craft. No, I can't because I haven't got any stone brick. Okay. Because I don't have any fuel, do I? Because I haven't got any. Isn't this scrap meant to give me? Yeah, solid fuel. Oh, it's going into in there. I can always use the rocket fuel anyway. Okay, so let's craft just a quick furnace. Oh, I can cancel all that out. Furnace. Pop you down. Oh, can you not do it in there? Huh. Scrap recycling. Oh, of course, you've got to put it in the solution. And then you turn the solution into that plate. I forgot all about this. So I literally played this like 6 months ago. Okay, so we're going to do that. Did I bring chemical plants? Yes, I did. Okay, so put one of them down. But then we need a bit of power to run that, don't we? Which means... yes, we could use a boiler. Need more iron plate, so I'm going to have to recycle. Can I build a... can't build one of them yet, because it's not giving me enough stuff. Okay. Let's chug away then. Guess I could mine it, but then I can't build a lightning rod. So I need to recycle... ah, there we go. So another recycler. What else do I need then? I guess if I'm going to go down the burning a bit of solid fuel route, just to get us going, let's say we need stone brick. So we would need 4 stone brick, okay. But then I could do that just in the furnace, couldn't I? Where did the furnace... oh, I turned it into a boiler. So, pop that down. Then put the stone in. Put a little dash of the old that. I remember this sensation from the first time playing it. Of like, wait, everything's backwards. That's just wrong. But yeah, that must be... it is that thing, isn't it? So, I mean, Satisfactory, you can do basically the first 4... it still has, and so this was my complaint and what I was hoping they would fix, and they didn't. It still has a very, exponential curve to what you need to build. So we've got the solution, but we need power for that. I can. I've got a lightning rod. Excellent. I could always just stick down the solar panels as well. In fact, why don't we pop some of them in as well? I keep forgetting what I brought with me. So we do that. Pop one of them in. That's too far over. Obviously solar's a bit rubbish here, but that's fine. Stick them in temporarily. We just need to unlock bits and pieces. I haven't seen the achievement pop. I'll probably find out that I've done something wrong somewhere. Okay, and then we want a lightning rod. Put there. Help that out. It also gives a bit more sort of space. Oops. Cool, so that should hopefully... is that enough power? Item ingredient shortage. Oh, we need water. Of course we do. Which means... another one of them. Doing that. That in. And off she pops. That will give us the holmium solution. And we turn that into plate using assembly machine. Okay. Put that in there. plate. Turn that around. And I guess, since we have the luxury of spare power, I didn't bring any chests with me, but then we've got tons of steel, haven't we? Yeah. Just a bit paranoid about the camera now. Keep checking it. Okay. How many do we... Oops. How many do we actually need to build? Oops. What was that? Oh, it's the... We need to make... craft 50. No. What? This one, sorry. Yeah, we need to make 50. Which just means a whole load more volume, basically, doesn't it? Because right with water... Yeah, so we just need to mine up more ore, which we should do via electric trickery. Except we can't, because... Oh, I can. Make it up. This over here. Oh, 29. In fact, I need to go and mine these up. It's the quickest way to get scrap, isn't it? Need to have one of my videos. I'm going to do what are all these bits and pieces? You know, what are they meant to be? Bits, you know, building wise. A lot of them are just, you know, what does that look? Looks like a furnace type thing, doesn't it? Because some of them do look like, you know, you describe it like ancient things rather than new stuff. Anyway, that's some scrap. How much volume can we get out of that? Box. Yeah, probably best to run around. Being a vandal, destroying everything. Rush to space needs you to complete one of the other planet's research. Yeah, that's what we're targeting basically. Is trying to get rush to space. But it means I haven't done. Well, I would have got it actually the first time I played through, because I saw the I looked at achievements, and so I avoided doing the purple and gold sciences. But you actually have to do them before. Still processing scrap. No, what did I get there? That's good. Yeah, you have to do them before even doing the research for it does take prod, okay. Yeah, you can't even unlock gold and purple. Because there are, I'm pretty sure, aren't there texts that they let you do that are actually don't need gold and purple? Or are they all locked to it? Because I say, I'm pretty sure I went to the first planet without having done a gold or a purple research, but of course it's the actual science itself is what's blocked. As they do all involve some purple. Yes, but we need to work out. So we're working on that one. So, because a lot of these I can't actually do. So it'd be that one, I guess. But a lot of them I can't actually do because, that involves gold, 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 gold and purple, gold, purple. So we do that one. I could do quality 3, but I've not done quality 2. Maybe that's the one where to go, because this is the quality planet. So if we did that, then if we can get enough... Wow, 2,000. Okay, that's a lot. We can get those 2,000 back to Nauvis, because we're just taking with us, because hopefully this isn't dying in orbit. That's always a risk. Oh no, it's all chugging away, making ammo. I forgot to sort that out, didn't I? Okay. It's all blocked up. You can't move. I suppose it's not a problem in a sense. If that's got, if it's got carbon in it, that'd be fine. Did this have anything useful in it? Oh, I forgot to take down. Oh, we got one. I guess I moved that from some. I must have moved that from somewhere. Oh, I can't. Guess we haven't got. I ain't got platform pieces. Can I steal them from somewhere? Not easily. Oh. Forget about that one then. Oh, I could just replace one of them. Cool. Right, so how are we doing? We got scraps going here. Plenty of. Nice. We didn't get any more holmium. That's annoying. How many have we made? We've made 30. Yeah, not got any holmiums. Get a bit more scrap. Oops. In fact, that's what kill off them, don't we? Get them out of the way. Hello, Hatchon. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Hello, hello. So, like some little vandal running around, destroying all the buildings. How are we doing? We've not got any more scrap out of all that processing. It is a tiny chance, isn't it? But 1%. You'd expect at least one bit out of processing 100 scraps. There you go. It is what it is, I guess. I'll see if I can spot. So one of these is called something a bit different. I'm not sure it shows it, is the thing. It's like in the game files. And I don't think it means anything as such. I'm obviously going to do a video where it does mean something. But I think it's probably a reflection of maybe some of the stuff they were noodling around with when they were coming up with a place. So I don't think it shows it, because in Factoriopedia, when you look at the ruins, here we go. So you've got like, obviously lightning attractor, then you've got small one, medium one, big one, other big one. Colossal, huge. Is huge not? Is colossal not bigger than huge? Anyway, and then the vault ruin. So obviously the vault ruin has got a special name, but I'm pretty sure one of these, because you've got two called big, and what it's doing, it's replacing it, and what it actually is called in the game files is henge. Now, that's actually a classic mistake people make. The henge is like the circle, rather than the, because people think of Stonehenge. But the henge isn't the bits of stone sticking up. Henge is actually the earth mound in a circle, basically, and the trench associated with it. That's the actual henge. But yeah. But henges are of religious significance. The kind of question is, is that some ritual site? Is that evidence of a Fulgoran religion? And what might a Fulgoran religion look like? Yeah, pretty sure it just calls them, so it replaces it, so it doesn't show you the henge name. Just calls it big. Right, how are we doing? Lots of scrap, lovely. Get all that processed. We've got 3 bits of holmium, lovely. Excuse me. Oops, wrong building. Yeah, so I'll just throw this together, get some bits and pieces, essentially. If I put them, I just chug through these, whatever you might call them, intermediate researches. I should get the bots to do it, but the bots are here. Well, and also you can see I'm running out of power because there's not actually enough solar. We kind of have to clear these out anyway so that we can build, so it's not too much of a problem. We just let the machines chug away doing their thing. Can I process more scrap? I can. So got another bit. But yeah, a Fulgoran religion. How are we doing? 40. This should be golden. Should be there. I try to be like, because obviously, you know, the game doesn't tell you a lot of the stuff, you know, when I'm doing the lore videos. I try to be quite kind with the comments, but sometimes, and people are nice with them, yeah, they don't generally act like, you know, they don't troll me or whatever, particularly, very occasionally, but I sort of, that's one, because these, I mean, that to me is clearly a pipe that's poking out of the thing. And somebody tried to argue that it wasn't, basically, and I was like, well, what else could it be? What's it meant to be? I mean, it looks like it's probably been severed or something like that, maybe, rather than continuous, but I don't know, they were sort of like trying to argue that that wasn't a pipe, and I was like, well, what else is it then? But yeah, I didn't say that as such. So I do try to be nice, because anybody's theories could be right. There's no official answer. Whoops, shouldn't have got rid of that. That was right. Okay, how are we doing? This is a bit more. Must have been quite fun designing these things, I think. Sort of mad alien buildings. You know. These are intriguing. Glass pods. But they possibly have been growing in them. Right, so get this processed. Chuck whatever we've got in there. And you in as well. I've got water here. In. Get all of them. Bing bong bing, there we go. So that's our actual science done. Which should mean... Oh, it's still doing that one. Next would be the actual electromagnetic research, for which we need to craft... How many? Oh, just one, maybe? Yeah, just one. But obviously we need to set up a proper production thing. Now, I brought very little with me. Like, very little. Can I make some recyclers? So I can make the implant, that's good. I cannot, because I put all the stuff in a box. I don't know if you pronounce your name. That SD33344000098. Could just be for sewage. Yeah. I say. I mean, I'm not saying this. You know, anything spectacular. I mean, in fact, that's what I was arguing basically, that they were sewage, the pipes, and that the whole oil ocean is basically ancient Fulgoran poop. That they polluted their seas with pollution to a degree that, you know, basically that's all it is. Let's see, we've got one more scraps. How many to make an EM plant? 150. That's quite a few. Okay. Got 60. But I can't make recycle. Oh, I can. Okay, let's pop one of them in. So yeah, this is the research we want to do. Or I guess we could also do the lightning. In fact, the lightning collector's a lot cheaper, isn't it? But yeah, we need to make supercapacitors, which means building an infrastructure. What we could do is risk it, pour a biscuit, and send this guy back. Because it clearly makes the journey. I say, this is not great. These two things. I could get rid of... because I don't have enough platform pieces, really, to start messing about too much. But we can just cheat, so we can literally go... let's delete these. And then build them back in. Because the problem is it blocks this one, essentially. That's the issue. So, because particularly this would take from the right-hand side in preference, and of course that's just full. We've just got loads of carbonics stacked up. Cool. So I say, do we risk it? Do we send it back? If we do, what am I getting it to request? I should get it to bring us some belt. How much do they stack to in a rocket? 100. I've got 4 rockets that I can use, so around each of rockets doing them. I have quite a few undergrounds, and they're not that hard to craft. But it's more... what is it more? What do I actually need? If it's just that, there's not much point, because I can set up a machine just making them. Have you chugged through? It would be nice to have at least one EMP plant. How much do they convert into? 2 home more to make 100 solutions. So one is 50, and then 50. So each plate is 20. So it's 2.5, isn't it? So 1 orb. I guess we've got a bit of prod, but 1 becomes 2.5. I'd need to find a lot, wouldn't I? That's annoying. Okay. Okay. How about we use what little belt we've got then? Set up a... oh, that's loads of scrap. I think I'm going to process that by hand. Set up a MIDI scrap processor. Move this up here. Over somewhere there, maybe. To chug through. And there it is. So I need some power on them. In fact, let's just put them on this side. Oops. Cool. You in. And then just get it to throw the stuff in a box and we can sort it out. I'll try not to trigger people by making sure I put it in the right hole. But there's a lot of poop. Well, it's millions and millions of years worth of poop, isn't it? There'd be all the dead fish and stuff as well, and algae, I guess, and all that sort of stuff. Difficult to figure out what the ecosystem, you know, for the planet would be, because there's no real evidence of like life other than... where are they? Have we got any on here? Probably not, because of what it is. But there's the little flowers. That's like the only evidence of life, other than the actual you know, buildings and Fulgorans, so what were they eating? Okay, what site recyclers? And boxes. Yeah, I'm all out of juice, so let's get that off. Might as well turn the bots off. Power-wise. Yeah, it's okay. Right, did we get any more? We did get some more. No. No. Yeah. And yeah, cool. What does that give me? Not very much. Ah, now we're out of juice. Okay. Oops. Okay, can I build any more? No. Okay. Right, how are we doing? Not well, because we've not got any power. Let's go punch some more buildings then. I do like the things like, because that looks like one of those wheels that they have on, like the, you know, like the lunar lander vehicle, which both suggests that they had wheeled vehicles of some description, but also that perhaps this is a long-term problem that they were dealing with as well, trying to get across between the islands. I think the suggestions, it's not my headcanon version, but suggestions people have made about maybe these were, you know, these are the ruins of a civilization that wasn't actually native to Fulgora. You know, that they turned up and basically did what we're doing, which is exploited the place. And that's why it's all, you know, there's no proper resource patches. Because you got to think, I mean, they got all this scrap gets turned into recycling unit, you know, processing units and low density structure and steel and all of that sort of stuff. So those things must have been resources they had access to. And I guess, isn't it remarkable that, oops, it's exactly the same tech that the engineer uses. That's a strange coincidence. No, no. Did you kick back in? Maybe. I don't know if we've had a night or not. We just need to take off some of these. Let's keep a bit of that. We've got 13 holmiums. In. Fit any more in there? Whoops. Chug away. Trying to get enough just to build the one EM plant, because then you can set up EM plants making EM plants, and we get that 50%, sweet 50% bonus. But I need to clear all this out anyway, really. What's my favourite planet? Interesting. So I'm not entirely sure that it's not still Nalvis. Because it has the most variety in gameplay, basically, rather than, I mean, I'm not, oops. I also quite like, so I've said this before, it's something we will get round to in this series. I love building defences, and I'm not sure I find defending against pentapods all that satisfying. To be fair, they fiddled with them quite a lot while I was, you know, both while I was doing my first series, my first streaming series, playing it through, and also afterwards, so maybe they're a bit different now, but they have kind of some fundamental, because that's that whole thing that they can't expand to anywhere but, is it marshland I think they have to live in? So if you, like, you know, block all of the marshland, they're never going to expand, sort of thing, so it sort of renders them. It's not my... The defence I like is like the tower defence style defence, like from the biters. And of course the worms are just completely passive unless you want their territory, sort of thing. This place doesn't have any enemies, which I think I'd probably argue for it having something. I suppose there's lightning, technically. I like this mechanic the best. I think the lava, you know, processing lava is, and this, you know, I don't mean this in a sort of, I know a lot of people love the whole lava processing. I don't find it all that interesting. I don't think it's bad. I'm not saying it's some horrible mechanic. I'm not a fan of the spoilage, as it turns out. I try to be an open mind on it. I just find it annoying. It's just like, I find it particularly dumb that you can't do any kind of research to extend shelf life or anything. It just seems like a stupid contrivance. A bit like the ammo thing, where they just, you know, the solution to the fact that we were all using, you know, ammo basically to, we were all importing ammo to ships from planets, was just to make ammo heavier in a ridiculous way, and it just feels silly. But yeah, so the type of defence I like to build, it's what I, you know, one of the things I really enjoy is the wall defences on on Nauvis, and obviously that's really the only planets that's got that. Pentabos, I say, you block off the marshland, they don't expand, and then artillery, you just keep them out of the pollution, the spore area. So it's actually fairly simple to defend against them. They're very tough. And also when you're fighting them, once you've got the suit from here, you can just hover over the water and just kill them from a distance. They don't have a proper... they got the insecty ones, the flying things, but they're like nothing. Just rubbish, basically. Right, let's see if we picked up any more home from here. Yep. 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 Cool. Yeah, so I think at Nauvis really is actually my continued favourite. 190. Oh, I can build one. Okay, let's see about tearing this down then, because that's not any solution in it. Cool. So we should be able to build the end plant if we get the other bits. We need refined concrete. Nuts. Refined concrete in, because we get concrete, don't we? He says, not remembering. Yeah, so I would say of the new planets, my favourite is probably this one, because I enjoy the mechanic. I find it's like brain breaking. It's sort of... what am I searching for? Oh, refined concrete. So we need... Yeah, regular concrete. No, I was going to pick up scrap, wasn't I? That was it. So I thought that gave me... concrete. It does give me concrete. So where's all this concrete? Oh, there it is. I'm going blind. Okay. So can we just make refined concrete? If we set up one like that, make some refined concrete, and then pop on... Where is it? There it is. Chemical plant. Processing water again. You in there. Oh, we've got everything else. We have everything else. Excellent. So, how many do I need? But yeah, I don't find the lava processing, it's just... I guess that's why people love it, in a sense, is it's actually fairly simple. It's just pump fluids around, It's sort of fine. And it's also kind of broke... The whole fluid pumping thing, it's kind of broken the meta, as it were. It means that, once you've got it, it's like way easier and better to just pump the liquid metals around and make the stuff there, rather than use trains to move material around or anything like that. Which I'm not a fan of that. Can't get rid of trains. Yeah. Cool, so we're starting to get some in. How much do we need, as I say? We need 50, so another batch, another round. No, need another one. Okay, fine. Whatever. Right. So, now that we got... No, we haven't. What am I missing? Oh, I can only make it in a... it's tedious, isn't it? There. All the bits in. Okay. Don't really need to move that. Oh. Silly. Right. So if I put, say, you there, make any EMPs, and then you there, make it fine concrete, and put a box, say, there, and one there. Where am I going to put the output? On the bottom, is that in the power range? No, of course not. I'm doing there. And one right there. I'm not a fan. I've said this before. I'm not a fan of the music here. I don't really like this soundtrack. But whatever. And the Volcanus one is much better. So we need steel, sticks, and concrete. Concrete, steel, sticks. And, oops. We've got up here steel, concrete, concrete, steel, steel, concrete. Yeah, so Gleber, I don't like the spoilage mechanic. It's just too annoying. And then we go there, there, and this needs holmiums. In fact, I've not actually got enough holmium to make another one, have I? Shouldn't have torn down the other one. Oh well. Let's let that make some more refined concrete then. Okay. Now, what are we going to do then? Because these are all our patches sort of nicely stuck together. So we could maybe do the actual recycling there. Maybe use the bottom part for all the power. Yeah, maybe. Can I make... So they need stone brick, don't they? Which I've got 7 of. Okay. In that case, let's get you back in action. Making some stone brick. I mean, that's what we need to make, isn't it? I don't need to get too distracted. Because really I just need to make enough of them to get one science done. So that we can take it back home. Back to Nalvis. To make them we need superconductors as well. So we need the electrolyte. We need superconductors. So they are all EM plant recipes, okay. But that needs holmium plate. Light oil obviously get from the oil. We need to downcycle LDS or something to get copper plate. What I could do is send the ship back and get, if we need something for the rocket silo or something like that maybe. But that's heavy oil, which is fine. Holmium solution is the stone water. Okay. And then, so that would get us superconductors. Some capacitors, then we need batteries, green circuits which we can process, more plate, and electrolyte. Okay, so a little area making them. I can't remember which ones it is you stick into the science. I think it's the superconductors, isn't it? And used in, no, must be the other one, supercapacitors. Yeah. So that uses an accumulator, supercapacitor, and then the fluids. Okay. So yeah, we need to make quite a few EMPs, I think. Right. So much refined concrete we got? 90. Okay. 39 of them. Good. Steel plate. What are you missing now? Copper. Wire. Get a bunch of them. How many am I making? 10. Cool. Hello, John. Welcome, welcome. Oh, I love this planet. This is really fun. It's sort of really fun. Yeah, it's great. Fulgora. I say it's sort of always difficult to get into it because it's like completely backwards. But so I think I enjoy that challenge the most. It does make you feel dumb though, because you've got to remember recipes in reverse. Okay, so maybe I'll just sort them out myself for now. So if we go, well, stick them in there, that's in there, leave them there. Oh, drop the steel off. Grab all of that. Take a bunch of them. Should have brought some thingies, shouldn't I? Chests. Guess the bots I got are useless. Stone. Oh. Some sticks. Steel. Batteries is another one that comes out as well, isn't it? And then water as well. What? Oh. So, solid fuel. Concrete is one. But I've put it all in there, haven't I? Just trying to get my head around how I want to lay things out. Because they aren't, we're making them. But what else comes out in the scrap? So we've got the holmium. We've got LDS. Okay, yeah, we've got them in. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 products. 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. What have I put in that isn't actually 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 13. So what have I got there that's not? We've got gears, solid fuel, concrete, ice, steel. Gears, solid fuel, concrete, ice, steel. And then batteries, stone, red, cables, blue. Batteries, stone, red, cables, blue. LDS and holmium. Hang on. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Oh. Not sure I would have done that. But yeah, okay, so we got that many coming off. So what we kind of need to do, I think, or what I'm going to do, I need to sort of go this direction. So put in some of our effective jobbies. Why don't I? Pro tip: have more fun than yours. No, you're supposed to put that there and this here. You're doing it all wrong. Let's go here, then put it in there. Place this over there. That would be the back seating thing you're referring to there. Right, but yeah. Welcome to the channel. Hope you're doing well. I said this a lot of times before. It's not. I don't. The tricky thing with the backseating is that I'll generally ignore it, and the type of people who backseat get annoyed when you backseat when you ignore their backseating. So I always just stick that on just to avoid that sort of issue, basically. That's mostly what that warning's about, really. Because I will do, you know, little cock-ups, basically, little things that I've done wrong. And I really don't mind people pointing that sort of stuff out. But I say it gets a bit... When it gets a bit fractious, as it were, is when they're like, I told you to do it this way, and you've not done it that way. I don't care. I'm not interested in how you want to play it. So yeah, that's mostly what that's around. So, where can we put that? It's not too annoying. Didn't I drop that? Have I not brought? I don't think I brought any big power poles, did I? No, I didn't. Okay. Let's grab some more bits then, see if we can make a few of them. So, let's do ourselves a little sort of solary, well, accumulatory thing, I guess, first. How big does that? In fact, I can't really tell, can I, without taking it out? Can't you do it? Doesn't it show you? No, I remember this. It doesn't show you like the specific range of this. I guess it couldn't, could it? Because of how it combines them together. Okay. It's gonna be, it's sort of round it like that, isn't it? So we go. What's all that? Blob. Like that. Is that roughly in the middle? Got 3 on the bottom, 3 on the top, 3 on the side. So if we were to say build that right down here or something. Okay, so we could go a bit bigger. I haven't really got any more accumulators there, so that's fine, I think. Okay. Let's see how many of these we can actually put into it. Wow. Get those 2, I guess. Okay. Oh, of course I need to cover the whole thing, don't I? Because they're just regular things, the old accumulators. They're not accumulators. The what do we call it? Cool. Now let's put a sort of a solar one in somewhere, sort of in there, just to give us a little bit extra. Nope, missed. Got 20. I think. Oops. Seven left. Oops. Okay. Too far up. One bar down. There we go. Right then. Oh, no, that's too quick. So, we need like a scrap sorting thing, I think. I'm going to do it in a horrible kind of way. I think maybe buffer them as well. How many chests are they? So, what do we want to filter off first? I guess... let's do the solid fuel first, alongside. Do solid fuel, obviously it's polluted. And then I'm going to buffer it to a degree. Probably want that. Stack inserter. Bulk inserter, I guess now I thought. A whole chunk of them. No, I don't want that. Oops. I think. Okay, what next then? I guess maybe nice to do them in the order that it shows them, but for no real reason. What we got then? Gears. Like one of the highest ones as well. Okay, so we do gears there maybe. Wrong side again. Okay, why don't I copy that down? With 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, I used bots in my first one. Let's see if I can do something with belts. So I'm not really too fussed about this because it's just so we can make the science. And then skedaddle. What we got then? So maybe if we put it's not plate, is it? It's sticks. Is that right? Oh no, sticks to... Oh, that's right. They added the sticks to the thing. The buildings. Because you could soft lock yourself. So, if we do concrete instead, maybe then. Cool. And then, what we got next? I did gears, solid fuel, so ice maybe. Like that there. What next? We then got steel, battery, stone. How about we do stone next, and then steel, batteries, what else? We've got the holmium. If we do emergency structures, and then holmium, and then the circuits. We've got the red and the blue, and the wires. Let's see if I've at least put the right things on. Some solid fuel has escaped. Hello, that guy? Bob Markiplier. Not sure I understand that. Well, there you go. So those are the right things going in, aren't they? I think that's at least worked from that point of view. Obviously this is way more stacked up than we can actually process through. I guess what I could do. Oops. Oh, small Fulgora ruins, okay. I didn't realise then. Now, yeah, because that's the most numerous one, isn't it? It's like 40% of it. In which case, how do I actually want to do this? Could just stick them back out, separated, and do it like a sort of a weird bus. So if we go TT, if they've got there. But actually, I was at the LAN event, tried belts then, and it just got quite sort of confusing. It's fun, but you sort of struggle up against the whole not having the space. Oops. Because I'm about to run out of belt. So let us... oh, I haven't got any more recyclers. Gear wheel processing units. Hello, Bacon Magician, how you doing? Trizzy the Wizzy, crikey. I gave up and decided to do bot base for everything. I've been doing Belt Glubber for the last like 10 playthroughs, so it was time to change. Yeah, I did bots there as well. I just generally cheated with bots. I don't know, it sort of... Yeah, it almost felt like that was the expectation, really. To solve it with bots, but I know people have done some quite clever... Oh, I got rid of all the ruins. Some quite clever things with belts. One of the main things, I think, is about what spoilage time it is. As in, longer spoilage time is what you put on the belt. So the actual fruit, I think isn't the trick to move around fruit rather than, you know, something like that anyway. Okay. So, what we need to make then is what? Let's just have a look at the chains. In fact, let's get under a bit of coverage. We need, well, oh, I didn't. EMPs. Okay. To make EMPs. So we get the steel, we got the processing units, refined concrete is a chain we need to do, and then holmium is another chain. Okay. So, what does that look like? We want the steel. Where's that? That's there. Oh! And something else. It. Blue circuits. Okay. It's them. Maybe if I put it there. It's a terrible place to put it, isn't it? We should put it there. Connect that. No, connect it like that. Like that. And get rid of that. Okay. So, making them, we need steel. 2 circuits. And if we have them stick it in a box there. And now we need refined concrete, which we know we need to do in an assembly machine. Just sort of pop here. Put them on. So this can be our refined concrete, for which we then... So the sticks, I guess we could make them, but it gives us a lot. We don't need too many of these, we just need sort of enough to build... knocking the buildings down, give us loads, you see. Might as well just use them. And a looping bioflux belt. I built fruit up a lane, then anything left would get cracked for seeds. And have a looping bioflux belt. It works well, I'm just tired of it. And I'm never doing a belt Fulgora again. Is it that bad? I think it makes a lot. I think a belt, you know, Fulgora makes a lot more sense once you've unlocked that, you know, build anywhere concrete, basically, which is horrendously expensive. But you know, they've kind of set up a situation where all resources are infinite, so it's all sort of irrelevant. Ah, what we got going on here? See, I'm ignoring now this. And the bugs are coming along and eating my base. These should be upgraded. So, we need more hot laser action. And oh, it's got more free ammo's in it. That one's empty. And that one's empty. I didn't see you warning me about that. I think maybe a bit more wool. Bots, are you doing things? Get on with it. Lazy buggers. Right, so sticks. I say we'll just use the ones we got from the thing. That'll go in there. So it needs steel and water. So the steel is just literally from there again. Water we will put. Oops. What do I need? Iron plate. Ah, that's not very much iron plate. Oh, it's not covered. Feels very RTS-y, this. I don't know. Oh. Don't know if people saw, but the Dawn of War Definitive Edition came out, and I was playing that on Friday. Some of the controls, I mean, I think they're meant to have modernised them, but I found it a bit sort of janky. There's a really weird one where, like the particular type of camera movement that you do. Which one is it? It's like the rotate, like, what do you call it? Free move the camera like that. You have to hold down Alt, which is just weird. So that's already Alt. Let's just do one of them. So that then is getting me a bit of water, and then we need concrete as well. Where are you? You're there. That's inconvenient. So maybe that was the concrete coming across. Does that work? That's horrible, but it'll do. So that then chug away making them. Then I get it that. Then we got to do the old refined holmium platy bits. So you are going to make our holmium. We obviously, I guess I should build that in such a way that I can replace it with one of it. In fact, unless I did, no, I don't have enough holmium plate. You see, cut that off too early. But yeah, if I make that a long-handed, gives us a bit of extra room. I like the new Space Age music a lot. Volcanis is kind of the worst. The others are great. Aquila grew on me a lot. Really, I don't like this music. To me, this is... I think, you know, or someone actually quoted me like, on Reddit or something about that. It's like experimental jazz to me. It's like, I don't know. It just, there's no rhythm to it, no tune to it, which I find very jarring. So yeah, I'm not a fan of the music here, but I can, you know, understand why anyone likes any of the music. But so I personally am not keen on this particular music. So we need the stone and we need the holmium. That doesn't need anything else, does it? No, and it's just stone and just holmium. Okay. So that'll be the holmium. Let's see if we can't sort of jank ourselves around. Like so. Like so. That in there. And stone. Just take this round here. Yeah. Now, so we're full of that. We'll just make the stone. Hello, cool dude. Welcome, welcome. Space Age really makes you have to trust your bot network. Indeed, yeah. I said in my first playthrough, it was I did bots here. I did bots on Volcanus. Aquilo was sort of bots. It was kind of a bit because I only did a tiny little base, just making the bare minimum of stuff. So it was sort of bots, but also sort of belts. Volcanus was belts. But yeah, Aquilo was sort of half and half, and then here and Clever was bots as well, as I say. So yeah, but it kind of felt. I mean, when I say, you know, I think that's kind of what they're intending. They're sort of expecting you to use a lot of bots, really. But I think they do that anyway. They sort of. It's why they did those massive improvements to bots, you know, because it's. I mean, that was ages ago they did that, but it was literally bots as kind of the expected thing later on. It's fine, you know. How are we doing? Waiting on the holmiums. So we'll obviously replace that with an EMP, in which case... Probably. Oh no, I can connect it to that. Oh, that's got weird connections, isn't it? When it's like off-centered, it does pass through. So, can we speed any of this up? We can. Let's speed that one up, really. Cool. So this will chug out a couple of few holmiums for us, EMPs for us. And we're able to make these, so we're going to need the battery. We would need electronic circuits. Not difficult to get at all. But we need to do some more recycling. So we need to make some more of them. Blue circuits, okay. There might be on a bit short supply then. I wonder if I can process a bit more scrap. How are we doing power-wise? Yeah, we're okay, I think. Yeah, plenty. Let's pop in. Fulgora is the most sporadic. My ex and I noted how that's very fitting for the planet, sorted through all this weird garbage. I'm a bit of music buff, so I like it, but it can get a bit jarring, yeah. So I don't hate it. Some of the tracks are really nice here, I think. You know, there's a couple that I do like. But it's when it gets really weird and avant-garde, and I'm like, I'm just trying to play a factory game. I don't need to listen to experimental freeform jazz, you know. I do like all the planets are quite sinister music, which really fits with. It's like that's thematically that's, you know, now this as well. It's very, you know, although it's a sort of a, you've got a lot of, you know, there's a feeling of exploring the great unknown. You know, the what's beyond the walls, as it were. But obviously, what's beyond the walls could be quite scary. So it's it does have that quite dark tone to it at times, which I really like. Excuse me. Okay, let's get a few more belts ready. We've actually made an EMP. Nice. Can we process any more scrap? The tricky part is these basically backing up. Which, you know, we need to turn them into iron plate and stuff. And like these, we need to turn into rocket fuel. Could I set that up? I think I've got enough spare power. So I've not obviously processed any oil stuff yet. Pop in, say, something over here. And then maybe do a split. Like that. And then what are we aiming to do? We're aiming to make some rocket fuel. Let's see if we can get both of those. Nice. Which is that on there. So we'd need the solid fuel that we got. Do we want two of them? I just want it to chug away, making a bunch of rocket fuel. Don't need to do it at rate or anything like that. So that when we're ready, we have the option of blasting off. But then what we need to do is we need to convert. We need water, don't we? Okay. But amount-wise, we would need 0.5 and 0.5, and that'll make 15. So it's like massive overproduction. There we are. We need to do that, which means grabbing some of this ice. We're out of the power range, that's annoying. Can we maybe fiddle about that? Okay. So that gets us the water, and we need the heavy. Oh, I don't think I brought any whatchamacallits, offshore pumps, did I? No. Okay. We can make them, mate. We can make them. Get in there. So. Chuggity chuggity chug. Cool, so that gets us them. Obviously, low density structures in theory we get from scrap. So in theory, because obviously we're not gonna make a lot of it. On that front, we can kind of just we can always send our ship back and get an emergency supply. An emergency drop, basically. How are we doing? It's not producing enough that it's overloading this. But we are obviously stacking up. Let's put a bit more in our hand-fed recycler. In fact, why don't I just chuck in another box? So, oh, other side, fine. There. So that makes some more so that we can make belt. How have we done? We've got two EMPs. So swap this one out then. Oh, it's doing around. There. Now, which way is the? Oh, it doesn't make them, does it? No, you have to use the... That's right, the foundries is the swapsy one. No. It makes the electrolyte. That's what I'm thinking of. Okay, fine. No problems. Where did I put that? It was there, wasn't it? Yeah, your foundry has it in the end. But yes, we've now got 3 EMPs. Okay. So if we were setting up a bit of a chain to make them, doing all of that stuff, the electrolyte needs to come from one of them, and the superconductors. We need more holmium plate for both of those. Okay. So we need that there. Holmium plate. What do you need? You need the holmium solution. Okay. That's very annoying of you. Holmium solution. But heavy oil, that's fine. Pump that in. Stone's fine. Batteries are fine. Green circuits. So we would need to do a bit of processing of red circuits, for example. I thought I made some recyclers. I hear in 2.1 they'll be adjusting some stuff. There's a lot of rumours as to what they're doing in 2.1. I don't know that they've, you know, I believe Bilker has said a couple of things on the forum, so I guess that's semi-official, but yeah. I think people are getting a bit paranoid now because everyone's settled on this space casino thing, haven't they, of that's how you do quality. So when they nerf that, people are going to be, you know, up in arms, I think. What was the other one they're going to nerf? I really hope they change the module numbers, particularly for efficiency and quality. As in, make them better? Or... Efficiency module 3s are kind of a meme. Build them, but they both fall off and aren't that strong in the first place. Okay. Yeah, I think the problem, it's the classic Factorio problem with the efficiency modules. So that would be making the green circuits in theory, which would then batteries are going to feed in holmium we need to make here, which means using some of that. That is making that stuff. But yeah, it's the classic Factorio problem where it's the same problem with combat basically. That has exactly the same problem because. Can I flip that? Like that, so that'll maybe go there. And then flip that. And move it over there. Basically, what does that need? It needs the heavy oil. Oh, that's an output, isn't it? Why is it next to that? Oh, that's the superconductors, which should be on the other side. That'd be there. It gives you all these it basically, you know, it's like they've ramped up the challenge of the biters by making them tougher, the nests tougher as you go along. But they've given you infinite damage buffs and for every weapon basically. So eventually you're always going to reach a point, unless they make the scaling of the nests infinite, and the biters themselves say, you're always going to outpace them. You're always going to end up... I can't remember what it... and maybe they took numbers, but it was like, if you did 13 damage buffs, I think, 13 steps on damage buffs to guns, to projectile damage, as it were, then a single yellow bullet could destroy, I think it was a large asteroid or something. I can't remember what it was, but basically you got to a point where, and I say it happens with all of the combat, where you will outpace any buff that they, any increase they give them. So beyond that point, it's pointless doing the research. But because it's an infinite one that never hits a limit, doesn't matter how tough whatever they make the enemies, unless they infinitely scale, and then you get into that whole Bethesda problem of it renders your improvements redundant, which feels wrong. But unless you get to that, you will always outpace them, and so it will always render the combat pointless. It will always render it redundant, because you will just be so powerful that it's like, I guess the fix in a sense works on now this vanilla without Space Age, because you don't get the artillery buff. So artillery is always just a bit too weak, and it always then requires 2 artillery shells at least to kill one of the nests. So that makes it a bit more of a challenge, because you've got to, really produce artillery, and that's that extends to everything. So eventually you get enough productivity and blah 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 that you're able to just outproduce everything, and that is, that's the fun of the game in a sense. But it's like with the efficiency, what the point I was trying to make basically was that with the efficiency, you will always reach a point where, because it was nice that they gave it a reason for using efficiency on platforms, because it massively reduces your power demand. If you're going out to Shattered Planet Bob, then nice to have a use for efficiency modules by making all your buildings really, not use power, but they give you fusion, which is just insane amounts of power in no space whatsoever, and you can just buff everything to the degree that it doesn't matter. So you've got your legendary kit that just works really really quick without with the same power demands and stuff like that. And it's just the fundamental thing of you can just make the platform bigger and bigger and bigger. And obviously we know width-wise that slows it down, but it's just longer and longer platform, and there is a limit. But you reach a point where your platform is just so big, and they give you so many buffs of like making the rocket parts and low density structures, all this sort of stuff, that it becomes trivial just to make a massive platform. And so why bother putting efficiency module 3s in? They're just like, and it's like you have to almost deliberately, run these things as challenges yourself. I'm going to do this in this way. I think I made a point there. Space Casino is tempting. I haven't done it in a game yet, but it just seems too easy and convenient. Yeah, so that's kind of the thing. Hello, Oscar. Welcome. Hi, Triggers. Is Trismegistus a reference to Warhammer 40k, or are they have common origin? Sorry. I didn't know there was a Trismegistus in Warhammer 40k. Interesting. No, so the origin of Trismegistus and why it's misspelled, I did explain this in a comment actually, just weirdly recently, but basically, when I was a youngster, and I sort of am still at the moment, but I haven't read any of his books for ages, but I was a big fan of Robert Rankin, the author Robert Rankin, and he wrote a book in which he had something called the Train of Trismegistus, and I thought that was really cool. I didn't know what it meant. It just sounded really cool. And when I joined, so back when internet was dial-up, and I was getting onto it the first time, I needed a name, a username for a forum that I joined, and I was just like, I don't know, I don't want to call my, don't want to use my real name, not least because it's very boring, my real name. But and that just popped into my head, and I just thought, oh, that's I not read the book relatively recently, and I just thought, oh, that's I can use that as my username, and as it happened, I misspelt it, so it's not the proper Trismegistus, which what it means is 3 magics basically. I'll explain that in a minute, but it has an e in it, so it's Trismech, because it's actually Greek, so it's Trismegistus, or I can't remember whether it's Greek or ancient Egyptian, but basically it's got an e in it rather than a u. But I misremembered it, and I didn't have the book to hand. And back in those days, you didn't have Google and you didn't have Wikipedia, so I just put it in as that, and I misspelt it. But it therefore has the use that it's not the general, because there is actually a board game and stuff called Trismegistus, and obviously it turns out it's a real, not a real thing, but it's a thing, as it were, and therefore it means I'm slightly different. But yeah, so it's that basically. I later discovered as well that, I don't know if you know the well, it was adapted in quotes into a film with Steve Coogan and Rob Brydon, Cock and Bull Story, which is an adaptation of the Tristan Shandy novels, and originally the name Tristan, because it's considered the first postmodern book, Tristan Shandy, a long time before there was such a thing as postmodernism. But the basic thing of the book, like the central joke of it, is that he's supposed to be writing his memoirs, and he starts off on a topic. There's like 17 books in it, but he starts doing these things, the stories, as it were, explaining his life, and he gets massively distracted by what's going on, so he never actually finishes any of the stories he starts, and therefore it's like a postmodern thing basically, because it's effectively life is he's writing a autobiography, but life gets in the way of him writing his own autobiography. But yeah, and so they adapted it into a very clever film, and it turned out that Tristan's original, what he should have been called, was Trismegistus. And it's quite good because I didn't know about this condition, but I say in those books, because he does that whole getting distracted thing, it's actually quite a good fit for me as well. Like here, I've completely failed to build anything because you've all been asking me questions. But no, I didn't know there was a Trismegistus in 40k as well. But yeah, the origin, Trismegistus, it is 3 magics basically. The idea is it's like meant to as well be the, I think it's the Greek name for the Egyptian god Hoth or Thoth, can't remember. But basically, is that right? Other way round, isn't it? I can't remember. But it's connected to, because it's Hermes Trismegistus, so it's the Greek god Hermes basically, which is is it the messenger of the gods? I can't remember. You can look it up on Wikipedia. But yeah, the idea is it's like this 3 magics, Trismegistus, is where that name comes from. What the heck am I doing? Thought, yeah, okay. Thoth, yeah. Just googled. But yeah, so I didn't know any of that. I just picked it because it sounded cool. This trainer Trismegistus sounded cool in a Robert Rankin book. Hello, sir. How are you doing? Earlier in Space Age, I made use of some efficiency modules on ships, but just as you said, fusion or even nuclear provides more than enough power. Even liberal use of modules and beacons is no issue regarding power in my playthroughs. Yeah, it would be nice to have. I say, and it's just this thing. It's just a fundamental Factorio thing, of you just scale everything. You make infinite of everything. So, what real use is a efficiency module? It's only its only benefits is it reduces power. Well, even here, power is completely free. They made Volcanus. It's trivial to get more power with the whole sulfur thing. which I found ridiculous, to be honest. I assumed Volcanus was just going to be, you know, you had to use... I thought there'd be more of a link. So this was the planet to make solar panels, and then Volcanus was the place to use solar panels. But they just gave you that sulfuric acid, you know, neutralization thing, and you just make, you know, trivial production in order to make infinite amounts of power. And then, of course, Gleba, you can just burn everything. So, you know, you've just got infinite burnable fuel if you want to, or, you know, import nuclear fuel or what have you. And so Quilla, the planet that has, you know, no solar, well, by that time you've got normal nuclear, and importing nuclear fuel is trivial because it's so energy dense that, you know, it's super useful. You can, I mean, there's plenty of stuff you can burn as well, but eventually. But also, it gives you the fusion. So although you have an initial challenge of power is difficult, it gives you fusion, and off you go. You don't need to worry about it again. And it becomes more an issue of heat. You know, that's more of a concern on the Quillo than the actual power. What are we trying to do? I'm trying to set up a quick and dirty thing, making these supercapacitors, so that we can unlock the pink science. That's what I was trying to do, wasn't it? Yes. So we need then some water. Doesn't one of these need water as well? No. So we can just do a bit of water there. This is too close, isn't it, really? I need to move all of this up. Just give myself even more problems than I need to. Oops. What's that inserter? Okay. Back in. And now it's not powered. Doot. Yeah, cool. Let's see. So one of the reasons I like this planet is it suits my whole quick and dirty way of doing things. Well, at least initially. You know, obviously, if we're actually producing stuff, we want to do it properly. But for now, quick and dirty wins. There. You in there. So that's that one. And that'll get us that. And then we need more holmium, we need more stone. Now, how many of these have we actually made? Because we might just be able to... So we've got 3 in total. So let's cut off the holmium here. And if we get a bit more, send it up this way so we can make these instead. But we also need stone. Which, in fact, let's do it that way. So we can just spaghetti that around. If you're willing to put a nucleus plant on your platform, you have so much power for early game, and if somehow it isn't enough, you can add in another reactor and get 4 times the power. Yeah, it's it took me, when I did that first time, it took me a while to get my head around it, you know, building it. The mistake I made was, you know, obviously the spent nuclear fuel, I was thinking about that as, oh, I've got to put it back in the platform and, you know, return it to the planet and stuff. But you know, you can make nuclear fuel so easily that it's better just to throw it overboard. You know, just managing it is a silly idea. Just chuck the waste overboard. We're an absolute environmental disaster, aren't we? We're just atrocious. Okay, so I need to split this stone. Like that. Maybe people are right with the theory that we are a Fulgoran. Because we seem to make a mess of everything. So we need a bit of the old heavy oil. And we've made some of that. Excellent. I should probably whack in a load of prod modules or something, shouldn't I? Maybe efficiencies? We're not going to get very much. Oops, very much of this stuff. Cool. So none of this needs to run at rate. This is just me getting the chip, because I think I just need to make one of these. So we need light oil. So this is about breaking stuff down, isn't it? Doesn't this need circuits? Yes, it does. Green circuits, okay. But batteries... Oh, it needs holmium plate as well. Did you tell me what you do? So, we get the holmium plate in there. Somehow. Oh, that's... In fact, why don't we patch that on there? So we need to bring in batteries and green circuits. So bring both of those in here. Obviously batteries we've got. And green circuits we need to make. How do I want to do that? It might be most expedient to turn these guys into iron plate and then use the actual circuits, wires rather. So if I maybe put a recycler here, no, a recycler here, which needs power, obviously, electric trickery. But then we put a machine, say, don't like that. Put you there. You can make some green circuits. And now I need to give you some wire. Okay. How about we just sort of... Probably better if I move this all down, isn't it? Let's do this here. Do 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 do. No. Move you. Okay. Them. That's in there. Oh, we're out of juice. I should really set one of these EMPs up doing. Because we're about to take the batteries over there as well. Okay. Where can I fiddle that out? If we go across here. In fact, just sort of shut that over. There. And then EMP. Make some accumulators. So we need iron plate as well. Which is same again, I think. But perhaps if I move that forward, I can... Oh, position's rubbish. Okay, so if we go one further up here. That. Pop this across here. There. And this can also grab, oops, that. And then you doing that. That's a place. Still in the wrong place. So accumulators. Box. And all our problems are solved. Apart from all the other problems. Okay. How about... So we need to bring wires over there, don't we? But I've created a mess. That's annoying. Move that up. We don't need millions of these things. We just need to get the thing working. I need to put batteries on that as well, don't I? Nuts. So, let's what? Let's put a thing like that. No. Just there. Attach that. Oh. Hello, Mustafa. Welcome. 140k Trismegistus is early chapter master of the Exorcist chapter. Interesting. Chapter that was somewhat immune to the warp. A demon possessed Trismegistus, and after that they figured they could use demon possession themselves to grow stronger and fight demons. Interesting. I finally gave up on this game. Just going into Liquid's part for real. If that's if that is too complicated. So I've done there is actually a quick tutorial on my channel about doing basic oil processing, which might help you. So if you're talking about chemical science basically, and all you kind of really need to do is make sulfur. You don't need, well, you need to make plastic as well. Sorry, but is that right? I always get this mixed up. Yeah, so you need sulfur and plastic, and sulfur is just a direct thing from petroleum, which you get out of basic oil processing. And advanced circuits obviously need the plastic, but that is just petroleum plus coal. So if you can get coal to, an oil together, then making both of those isn't too dissimilar. It's basically just a chemical plant and whack in petroleum, and then also add in coal for advanced circuits, for plastic. And then obviously advanced circuits, you take the plastic and add in, the copper wire effectively, and green circuits. Engine units requires a lot of steel. The thing I would say, it's one of the things I want to try and do another quick tutorial on blue science specifically. The game, I think it's one of the flaws in the game basically, because if you're progressing up the science, these two are super easy, and it probably didn't feel that way when you're first playing necessarily, but these are not complicated recipes, and they use the same stuff. This is iron plate and copper, and this is iron plate and copper. I think that's a mistake. I think logistics should involve something that uses steel, and that therefore is a bit more of a progression. Because what happens with chemical is you suddenly need to process oil, which is an entirely new system, doesn't work in the same way, but you also need to make steel. But it's not just making steel. What you've probably done, most people do, is they scale up red and green and think it's no problem. Suddenly with chemical science and engine units, you need an enormous amount of steel. You don't, and this is kind of the thing I want to do in the quick tutorial, because people start to think, I need to produce as much chemical science as I do red and green. You don't. You just need enough to be able to get you up, the first few techs of chemical science, and it helps you learn the stuff. Learn how to do things rather than actually do anything. Because what you want to unlock with chemical is the advanced oil, which gets you the heavy oil, light oil, all that sort of stuff, lubricant, and that then gets you bots. So what you really need chemical science to, all you need it to do is get you to bots. That's what you really need from it. And I say, to do that you need the advanced oil processing, and it's a bit of a trap in the game, not a trap, but a bit of a flaw in the game. That I think it should maybe, another thing, it should give you 3 chemical science packs or something like that. It shouldn't be as poor to produce in a sense, or reduce the cost maybe. So, same thing effectively, but it could maybe do 1 engine unit or something like that to reduce the steel demand. But effectively, it suddenly goes, now you've got to produce tons of steel, which is space consuming. Lots of infrastructure needed for it. but also you've got to do oil, which is a completely different way of operating the game. So I do fully understand that, but it's not as tricky. You've got to sort of break the problem down into, right, now I need to make sulfur, now I need to make plastic, now I need to make steel, and sort of progress it that way. But it is a roadblock in the game. I mean, you need steel for that technically, but very little for the piercing rounds, and you really don't need a lot of military at all. So it's really not. You just might need to watch a video to get it done. I like this kind of game, but I don't don't know where my head is at this point. But I might keep going. I don't know. I mean, the thing I've said. I mean, obviously it means spending money, but Satisfactory or Dyson Sphere Pro maybe more your cup of tea. I say they're a bit better. I'll be honest, they're a bit better constructed as games, effectively, because Coffee Stain Studio is a studio that's made AAA type games, as it were. So they're a bit, and they have a much bigger team with kind of dedicated people doing things like level design and stuff like that, which for Factorio is more I don't want to sound insulting, but Factorio is a game made by programmers for programmers, is one way of putting it, whereas Satisfactory is a sort of game made for everyone and anyone. So it's way better at onboarding you and kind of explaining systems and all that sort of stuff. I have my complaints about it. I'm not that big a fan, but it might explain itself a bit better. The other thing, the other thing that really is worth doing and learning is, so you have the tutorials, and that it actually tries to teach you stuff. Some of these can be a little opaque, particularly the trains one. There's all sorts of stuff I want to do in the quick tutorials. It's like I think people rush to trains a bit too kind of quick and early, because actually you kind of don't need trains until quite a bit later in the game, really. Oh, there's a thingy there. Just great big long belts, although they're a bit of a tedious chore to just do, are like way quicker, basically, and simpler and easier to do than trying to set up an entire train network. I mean, trains are fun, but you kind of don't need them, because once you've burnt through your first couple of... I never put quality modules in this, did I? In fact, I don't think I brought any with me. No, I don't think I did I? Oh. Would have been useful to have a few bonusy ones. But yeah, so there is my one. I say on basic oil processing, and just trying to... I say what I'm trying to do with them a bit more... I don't know what... A bit more... I don't know... appropriate in a sense, because I find a lot of the tutorials just assume you know how to play the game. I'm just trying to explain... It's like the ones that are coming up, that are coming out in September. Almost the sort of point of them is... I don't know that I've explained it very well. This is the problem with these quick tutorials, so I'm not scripting them. But it's almost a bit of a... So it talks about ratios. That's kind of one of the things I talk about in one of these quick tutorials. And the point being that, if you look at the ratio that a lot of people, understand for smelting, of mining actually is the one where I talk about it, but it's like 30 miners to fill a yellow, a level 1 transport belt. Great, but that only really applies when you've got no productivity bonuses. As soon as you start adding productivity bonuses, and you get a couple in, even sort of 5 in, that goes down to 20 to fill a belt. And you've got to get sort of used to hovering over machines. And it's given us this nice tool now saying how many it produces per second. And if you're trying to do something like fill a belt or what have you, you have to sort of understand how to use that information, which it doesn't properly explain. But how to use that information to say, right, well, actually, I need to make 5 of these machines in order to fill, this belt, or I need to make 3 of these machines in order to, provide the resources to make this one machine work. And you kind of got to work through that maths. You can get mods of you can do maths in the game and stuff like that, and plan factories and things like that. A Trisman video about it is the one I'm thinking of. It's great. Only pump certain things when those storages are full. Satisfactory had me give up on aluminium. So yeah, so it is like a thing. Can you not need trains? The majestic beauty of them slithering their way forward for growth is part of the Maslow's hierarchy of needs in the game. Yeah, so I'm not. You will need trains. The trains are great, and they're super cool and super fun to play with. But I think people sometimes see these, train mega bases and the whole city blocks thing, and sort of go, oh, I need to do trains straight away, and you don't. You just simply don't. You can, and once you know what you're doing, you'll probably go to them a lot quicker. But you do not need to do trains until actually quite late in the game. In fact, it's pretty easy to finish the game without trains, because your second set of resource patches will get you to the end of the game. That's kind of designed around them being big enough to do that. Now, it's like the spaghetti thing. I was saying this the other stream, that spaghetti. You start off doing spaghetti because you don't know what you're doing, and you get into a mindset of spaghetti's bad, and you shouldn't use it, and it should be organised. And this is when people start banging on about efficiency. But the problem is that spaghetti's fun. It's fun to try and fix your mess, basically. Like this, I'm doing this deliberately. I could lay it out in I could use bots. I could get bots ordered in and blah blah blah. But spaghetti's fun. So why stop using it? But yeah, so that's the sort of thing that, and you sort of end. I say the point I was making in that was that you end up reversing, or I have anyway, and I deliberately do spaghetti mess because it's fun. Right, so what were we actually trying to make here? I need water. No, I need light oil, don't I, from this one? So that needs to be a heavy light crack, which is that pipe there then. And then we need another one of these. It's weird how it shows you the points even though we can't put them on. I could just split this, couldn't I, actually? Yeah, I don't know if that was any help. It's just my usual rambling rubbish. I don't know. I think actually if I just put a right there, and then just sort of split off from there. Yeah, I mean, and say the other thing that can sometimes block people is that oh, that's silly. Is that you might be struggling with biters as well, and there's no there's no harm, as it were, in just basically turning biters off and starting a new map. Done any sushi anytime? I saw some videos on how it's really great on Fulgora. I've not really, no. One of my problems, I've said this a lot, but one of my problems is that I actually struggle with the circuit network and getting it to do stuff. And I know a lot of sushiing is about controlling the amounts on the belts. I think it would work better here, maybe, where it's just you have it grab whatever's on this scrap product belt. But it involves a lot of circuit control, and even though my job used to be programming, I struggle with it, and I always say it's because my job was programming, because it does some, shall we say, logical leaps that you know, I find difficult to get my head around sometimes. Maybe we'll put a speed in. Right, so we're nearly there. We've nearly finally done it. If you all would stop distracting me. So only way we can get plastic. No, it isn't. We could do both, but we want to. Do we want wire as well? No, I want copper plate. Is that right? Yeah. So we're probably best off breaking our red circuits down. Now I've managed to pin us in a way that's really unhelpful. So let's work around that. But yeah, it's like, you know, never abandon spaghetti. Spaghetti's fun. And tasty as well. So, it needs to be down there really though, doesn't it? So if we go... Let's see, yeah. I keep forgetting which ones I can walk between and which I can't. Across to, oops, across to there. Have I got a box to put this in? I haven't. A box there. That. So this is going to be our line where we put both of those on. So we're going to need... I've run out of recyclers again, haven't I? Concrete. Okay. Because what we need to do is we need to break red down into green and plastic. So we're going to have an excess of green circuits, aren't we, if we do that? We take... Boop, boop. No use splitters. One splitter takes it, say circuits. Goes about where you do more stuff maybe, but so it doesn't back up and stop the sushi belt. You put the circuits back on the main belt using a priority mole splitter, one that brings it back on the sushi line. No inserters needed. Okay. Yeah, I mean that sounds similar to how I tried to do it at the LAN party. The problem I had with it was space, basically. That you ended up needing quite a lot of machines and quite a lot of belts in order to kind of fit it all in. But it did sort of work. Kinda-ish. So what we need here then is we need... Because we're going to have to break them down. So we probably want like a double splitter madness. So if we go... We filter that to... Oh, not right round. Not that one. Copper wire. Then we can put... Oh, it's too close. Put that... Oops. No, in fact, actually, put it there. So put that in there. And then... But then, I guess we want the... plastic? I can't remember what it is. And that needs to go into there. Just a couple of plate. Oh, that won't grab from there, will it? Why are you not outputting that? Will it not feed into splitters then? Or have I just blocked it all up? I mean, we need the green circuits to go away, really. Oh, out of them as well, crikey. No, it just got blocked up. That's what it was. I think I'm just going to have that output into a box. So we just need to make some. But you're all distracting me. I this strategy is a video on sushi on Fulgora, and it made me look forward to try it once I get to space. Oh, there's no recycler there. It's not going to do recycling without a recycler. Yeah. Oh, they're both on the right hand side, aren't they? So if we then do that, okay, means this all needs to get cleared off. Right, finally got a superb capacitor. Yeah, and I can, if we actually filter this as well in the same way, and I could maybe kludge together another mess. Long way around. Even more stuff to process. Done it. Cool. Now, do we make the actual pink science? It's only 50 minutes left. We're not going to do this today. I was hoping we would. Yeah, I guess, as I say, that's the cheapest one. So if we can make 1,000, which we're not going to do today, of the pink boys, grapefruit juice. So it needs accumulators, electrolyte, and holmium solution. Right. Well then. As it happens, we're making all of them very, very slowly, but we are making it. Now, if we're that, so let's pass. I can get pass through it, can't I? Because this is actually producing a lot more than we need. Should have prods in it. Cool. So we can take that out of there. Steal that. We're making them, so we could just steal them. Holmium solution and electrolyte. Yeah, so kind of got all of that. Just not in a convenient place. So, if we just sort of pop in an EM1 here, because actually with the thingy bonus, we only need to make like 750, which is nothing really, isn't it? Okay. Can I get those pumped around? So we need the accumulators, which is because we've just, I think, why don't I just use this iron plate? Make some new ones. Because we've got these guys here. Just let's get it chugging away. So I can't believe I forgot to bring quality weapons. Do we want some more EM plants? Because this is nicely backed now. Okay, let's... How are we doing with that? I'm going to stick... Yeah, we're okay. I think I will stick in another couple of these little power arrays. No harm. Oops. Oops. Oh. Got to run out of them. What do we need for those? We need stone bricks. Am I making any? I don't think I'm making stone bricks, am I? Oh, idiot. Need to set up the actual stone brick production first, don't I? So where's a good place / terrible place to do that? Do I want... I think probably better off using regular furnaces. And maybe just sort of throw in a couple in there. And then we'll sneak an extra thing off of there. In fact, why don't I... What would that be? If I move that to... No? No. Need to go there. Unpowered. I'll just sort of put there. Give this a little split. Cool. So that'll get us some stone brick. What's so silly? I have 0 belts placed on below. Yeah, they're I mean, they're always OP bots, really, because it was always sort of just easier to do everything with bots, really. But yeah, the new game is just, you know, so far that way. If I do that, are they going to play up? Yeah, nice easy way of putting them on both sides. Which I'm sure will break something I've done. Oops, that's not good. Done elsewhere. I guess I could also set up some, you know, whatchamacallit, furnaces or something, because we're gonna, looks like we're gonna fill up with water, or ice rather. Have we made stone bricks yet, my friend? So, yes. Cool. How many more have I got? I've got 62. Let's pop some more in here then. Another bit of stuff I've missed. So, if I'd remember to bring quality items, we've done some upgrading as well. There we go. Right, how are we doing? R6. Yeah, we might make a science pack. That's probably where we'll get to. So, we need to provide this with what? The 2 fluids. So those should be relatively easy to steal, he says. So it won't go out of there though. So how about what? Take it up there, and that's in the way. Brilliant, brilliant, good stuff. Underground that one. Where am I going? I think I'm completely blocked in there, aren't I? How about we go the other way then? So if I turn that one round, maybe, and then this stuff. actually, let's put that there. So this second pipe will come that way. Yeah. Do that. I'll move that one like that. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. What was this water pipe connecting to? This one. There we go. Need to connect that. Holmium. Holmium. What happened with the EMPs? Got one. Lovely. Guess it's things. Are things backing up, and so we're not making any. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Bound to be. In fact, that's all completely stuffed, isn't it? So didn't I let you... Oh, there we go. There's a problem. So we need that to go... That. There we go. It's flowing a bit now. Not very well though. So yeah, we need to process more iron really, which I think sort of gear wheels. So I think we might want to do a recycle to nothing situation. So we need concrete. How am I going to squeeze that in? We could go down here maybe. Do I can't remember, I can never remember whether two work or not. I'm making gear wheels. I don't, irony. I don't want to make gear wheels. But yeah, we'll do a feed in to itself situation. So oh, it didn't fit. Maybe put you there. I don't work that. Just do it over here somewhere. Do one of them. So basically, we feed that in as iron plate, and then iron plate. I can't remember whether it recycles to itself or just disappears, but basically, output from there. I'm pretty sure it goes to itself. So hopefully that will sort of chew through some of those iron gear wheels. Now what was I actually doing? Yeah, so we need why have you not got the bright pink one? Oh. Why isn't that actually connected? Okay. So it needs those supercapacitors. And then what? Accumulators. And they are batteries and iron plate. Okay. Nice. So if we have a assembler in here or something maybe. And we can maybe bring that one round. How would we do that? Watching the Alien Earth new series. I'm not quite as enamoured as some of the reviews seem to be, but I do have this problem, right? It's like a aversion to hype where if people say this is the greatest thing ever, then I have to give it some time before I actually watch it, because I'll just go, nah, it isn't. dislike it for no apparent reason. And it did seem to get quite a few. It's got a lot of very positive reviews. So I think my aversion to hype's kicking in. It was alright. I was the thing that it's a bit sort of Covenant apologist. Is it Covenant? I forget which one it is. But the whole Ridley Scott new, because Ridley Scott was never actually all that interested in the Alien film. Oh, this could be an EMP, couldn't it? I guess. He was always way more interested in Ash, the sort of like a spoilers for 40-year-old film now. It's no, 77 or 79, something like that. So it must be 45 years old. Something. But yeah, he was never that interested in the Alien itself. So I could bring that one up here. So when he started doing the stuff in Prometheus, it's like, you know, that's what he's been interested in, like the robot stuff. While the rest of us are like, give me more monster movie. Okay. And I guess we can just sort of stick this in a chest as well. And then we need to bring. Oh, it's making EMPs. I got that up. Yeah, and so it's done. I mean, it's going down. I say it's going down the synths route again, which I don't really care. But I think the big thing with it, it's doing lots of monster movie stuff as well. So there's all sorts of horrible creatures in it, which is what I want out of an alien movie. We've made an EMP. We made 5 EMPs. Cool. Now I just need to blow this pop stand. Hi Peter Schmidt, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing okay. Quite a few over on YouTube today. Doopy doopy doo. Yeah, I think I need to grab some more iron plate, really. If that's all we've got out of that, out of the red circuits, which makes sense because they're what's that? So I guess we could maybe. How might we get at some of that? If I maybe underground that one. Just there. I'm going to run out of belt, aren't I? Yeah. So really only want this one going up there if it's full, but it's fine. It's fine. The chest, I mean. The chest is fine. So, if we sort of bring this way, put another something here. Like so. Oh, have we run out of power? No. Oh, I guess it's just because it's so quick, it's processing. How about we go bulk inserter then? Is this empty at all? Cool. Started K2 plus Space Age a few days ago after a long Factorio pause. K2 Stew has so much better balancing than vanilla, so it was pretty amazing. Is that the spaced out? Because Piss Bomber over on Twitch was saying that because Rayguard obviously is like the custodian of Crashtorio 2. Didn't create it as it were, but they basically update it and keep it working. I know Rayguard made it version 2 compatible. I don't think they made it He said he didn't want to do Space Stage as well, so someone else has made that as a separate mod. Because that's what I'm going to... So I have decided I am going to do that. Basically... So you're getting way more plastic than I was expecting. So next week I will not be streaming because it's a bank holiday in the UK. And I partly want to take a break, but I also want to get back on track with the... Because in September there will not be a law speculation video. Because I've just not had the time to make one. And so I'm going to use the bank... I've taken a few extra days. I'm going to use the bank holiday to do a batch make of 3 of them. Well, I mean, I won't finish it. I won't get that done in 3 days, but I'll get a long way close to doing it. So October, because that basically takes me up to Christmas then, you see. October, November, December. And also, I want to try and do some other ones. I particularly want to do what I want in version 2.1 rather. And what I want to do for members, because you'll see this post if you see the things, but I don't feel I'm delivering the value for members, and it's a time thing. I just don't have the time to do anything particularly special. How many have we got here then? 70. Look at 79 of them. Wow, enormous. Or not, you know. Right. And it's not doing it because I've been turning them into EMPs instead. 3 EMPs, cracking. Completely lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Oh yes, K2 thing. So I'll be taking a break next weekend, which I'll be using to get back on track with the videos. And then... Because I'm also taking some time in October, because I've not used any of my holiday. But when I come back, I will be doing Spaced Out, which is the Crestoria 2 Space Age compatible, you know, mod branch, as it were. Because I also fancy giving that a go. And we will be alternating. So the week, I don't know which way around I'll do it, but like the Saturday might be the K2 Space Age, and this might be, and then Sunday is the Parameterising. Not that I've done very much parameterising. We did a bit on the platforms, which is the thing I'm most interested in looking at. But yeah, I've also discovered my train system doesn't really work, which is interesting. This isn't processing very quick, is it? But it is quite, because it's a slow recipe, so maybe give a bit of a speed boost. A bit more of a speed boost. Check our power. So we are a bit low, so we could do with a few more of the old capacitors. We'll chug away on that. There's another bit of. I've missed loads of them. I've done a terrible job of putting these up. Yeah, then leaving a bit of a gap so that I can walk between them, basically. I always just fill it in. Maybe another one, sneak another one in there, maybe. But yes, I will be trying the K2 Spaced Out. Can't believe how much I use parameterized blueprints. Seriously, it's like breathing now. Took some time to understand the nuances, but now I do. They're incredible. So my only complaint with them really is the whole, is what I was saying yesterday, of it effectively means that I do a lot of, I like tiled blueprints, you know, I like to have a blueprint that I can tile. Obviously, something like that, it doesn't. I mean, because I could parameterize this, I think, and do the modules in it. But there's no. It negates the point of tiling, because when you put one down, it asks you, and then you put another one down, it asks you. So you can't drag them and have it ask you for all of them. So that's my sort of main and only real complaint of it. Now you don't have to do that. You know, I could have just a giant mining blueprint and just slap that on once, and then we're good to go. But yeah, that's my only sort of... Oh, I never put this in, did I? Just had a few zaps. My only real complaint, and it's not... As complaints go, that's pretty minor. I suppose my other... you know, if I am looking for things to complain about with it, the fact that it explains absolutely nothing about it in the Factoriopedia is pretty rubbish, you know. Undocumented features in software is like, you know, a bad approach 101. Why did I leave them? So yeah, we're almost certainly, yeah, we're going to max out on ice, aren't we? So we could dump that as well. So if I maybe across there. Kind of weird how it processes them so quick that it can put both in basically at the same time. Just to get rid of it. What else? Anything? Ooh, blue circuits are doing okay. Movement structures are okay. Did we make all of this rocket fuel? Yes, we did. So we could maybe think about making a silo. And maybe think about going home. So what does silo need? Steel. We would need to start making electric engines, wouldn't we? We need like 200, is it? Yeah. Didn't I put them... No, I was going to put them on the platform and then wimped out, didn't I? Because it would have meant extra rocket trips. So we need to make some electric engines. And I guess technically pipes, but... Blue circuits and steel we've got, okay. So how about... I just want to check this isn't backing up in a way that's annoying. 129. Don't have much holmium solution. You're just full, that's good. You're full. So yeah, it's about the holmium, not really, you know, we get, what is it, 0.1% or something? Is this operating slow or anything like that? That's the next question. No, it's processing all the scrap. Some of the mines aren't running because they have a nice full belt. So I think we're okay. I forgot about this one. I never put the landing pad down. Let's put it in the most inconvenient place possible. Right, so let's put in a assembly machine and a steel chest. In fact, that's silly place, isn't it? Oh, I don't know. And then give it a silo. Wow. I could just hand... If I'm just going to do one, just so that we can go home, I could just hand fill it, couldn't I? So what do we need? Do we need 1,000 of your finest steels? No problem. We need 200 circuits. Oh, no problem. Concrete, we need 1,000, is it? Yeah, 1,000 concretes. Oh, no problem. And pipes. Let's just make some of those. That's terrible positioning, well done. Why don't I handcraft that? We only need like 200, is it? 100. Just handcraft them. I didn't need to do all of that. Yeah. Chuck them away. Okay. I've already got 40 in there, so I don't even need that. So it's the electric engines we need to make. Now, they do need a bit of work because we need to make lube. Need to make green. Well, sort of got green circuits, but not really. So we could just have a machine making green circuits for us. Kind of feed that. We've obviously got oodles of copper wire, except not. Because I'm turning it all into copper plate, am I? Oh, it's all gone into green circuits. Okay, how about then... Everything's running low now. Is that because it's not backed up? No. No, it's just because we're making stuff. Okay. I think this could probably cope with more. So if we do second bit of scrap processing, what do we need? Concrete, steel, blue circuits. Couple of 3 of them. Is there maybe? Get rid of you, can't we? Right, excuse me, mining template. I'm going on about how moaning about something again about this. So let's just actually use it. Without bots, it's a bit sort of meaningless, really. There we go. Oh, I don't have any then, do I? Good to there. Ish, kind of, maybe there. Oops. Amazing. How are we doing with power? Yeah, not too bad. Oodle's a great word. Noodle, canoodle, and noodle. They just roll off the tongue, don't they? Oodles and oodles. Oodles and noodles to canoodle. Why you'd want to canoodle a noodle, I don't know. Okay. So that's a bit more scrap going into the scrap mines. What was I actually trying to do with that? I'm trying to make green circuits, wasn't I? And I was realising that I've got iron plate. Oh, I've got some cables. Because we only, I mean, we need 200 engines. And an engine uses two, so we need 400 green circuits. which would then be 1,200 copper cables. Ouch. But 400 iron plates. So I'm sure we can do the 400 iron plates. This stuff. That's not even 400. Okay. And plate. I think the gears. What are we going to? That's not gears. Have I got copper backing up? No. We could recycle some emergency structures as well. Don't like doing that though. Feels wrong. Feels wrong. Feels wrong and bad. Wrong and bad. I haven't got recyclers. It's a weird noise they've given the industry structures. It's like something rattling, which I don't quite understand the logic, but there you go. I know, and that's copper. They make copper, don't they? So I actually need to convert that. Okay, fine, fine, fine. I'll do it your way. Yes, so we need to put one of them in the cables, and then box this to put it in. So that there. I'm trying to be good and put it so it looks like it's going into the mouth, because I know you all hate them. I just put them randomly. Cool, so that'll convert whatever copper cable we get. And then that'll make green circuits. And now we just need engines and lube. Okay. Engines are steel and lots of irony lovely things. So we can grab them from there. This can make us pipes. Run out of fast inserters. I haven't got the bits for them either. Oh no. So we need steel. Like that. And then we need iron gear wheels, which we were drowning in, but I bet I've processed them all now, have I? Okay, how are we doing? So you're making pipes, you're making engines. Let's get you doing that a bit quicker. You're making them, but you need to make lube. You need lube. Okay. Them. Lube. Pipe. Oh. Oops. Was that? No. Okay. But these are now unprotected. Excellent. So that should get us some electric engines. Not very many electric engines, but some. Is it going to have enough? That's right, 200, no, 400 green circuits, which means 400 green wires, but we've also got 100 there. How many are you going to be able to make? Oh, plenty. Yeah, that's enough, I think. Stop burning our LDSs. Cool. How do you... Oh, it's 5 to 7. Okay. So I didn't make it. It's your fault, that. All of you people watching, asking me questions. But no, I don't think I would have done it anyway, even if I'd focused on it a bit more. We have made 278 science packs, and we need 1,000, but not, because, you know, we would get prod bonus out of our things. And as I keep saying, intention of this is just to do one of these pink sciences, and then kind of leave Fulgora until later, because the reason I picked Fulgora in particular, as well as it, say, probably having my favourite mechanic with the scrap, because what I would be looking to do is using the elevated rails to connect more of these islands and like expanding properly across islands, and we could maybe make that one the production one. This would be our initial scrap. We could fill that one with accumulators, but you can't really do that until you've got... And I couldn't do accumulators there, could I? Because it wouldn't reach power poles. I can't do that. So yeah, I'd need to work out some combination of stuff, but I don't have elevated rails, so I can't move things around like I want to. Now you can work around that. You know, I could have one island that's dedicated to one thing and one to another, and da 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 da. But yeah, I want to come back here with elevated rails and kind of do it properly. But I can't do elevated rails until I've got purple science, production science, and I can't do that because I want to get this achievement. So yeah, it will take a little while, given I've just botched it all together and thrown it together. How we do? I never put those pipes in, did I? You're all ready to go. You're making engines. You're making electric engines. So yeah, and I think I've probably got the stuff to make a rocket now as well. I think that's knocking about in the chests. But continuing that, we'll have to wait 2 weeks. I will probably leave this running just to chug through all of those sciences, and you know, I'm not going to be doing anything else this evening other than making myself some dinner. So I'll probably just leave it running, let it make the sciences that we need. So it'll be about 850, I think, something like that. And it'll also obviously make a silo, because we are quite a few engines off. I could cheat the silo by simply sending this guy back and bringing back some electric engines. That wouldn't be a bad thing. But yeah, I won't actually do that science. You know, what I'll try and do is get it so that I'm back on Nalvis, you know, with this guy full of whatever it is, 1,000, 850, 900, whatever, science packs, and then we will finish that off, that achievement, next time, and then we'll do your purples and your gold sciences, and we'll do elevated rails, because I had this thing in my head, because I've obviously got these, you know, fixed rail things, and I did wonder, could I do maybe an elevated version of these, and then like have down ramps basically, so some way of going from make all of my blueprints basically elevated rail, and then have some kind of connector that lets me go down to ground level in order to do stations. That was kind of the thought I had. I don't think it'll work because the the ramp piece is so big that I don't think it would fit into the space I've got. So if this is the straight rail, I think the ramp is like that big, and of course you're going to need to do curves. And if it needs to connect to a stacker, where's the stacker? There's a stacker. So if it needs to connect to that, then it needs to have the outputs in the middle. So, you know, I might be able to get it to work. Yeah, it could probably, if I move it, so if it comes off there, maybe. And does a curve like that, maybe? No, there's no logic behind that. There's no reason for doing that. I guess it will help on Volcanus. It's all elevated. But yeah, so that's the plan, essentially, for when we come back. When I come back. Is there anything else I was going to say? Yeah, so I'll probably just leave it chugging away. Hello, Matthew Daly. I'm just about to go, I'm afraid. How much space between tracks do you have at the moment? I use 2 rail spaces between mine. That fits for going up in elevation. Okay. I think it's... Is it 2? I think I've got 2. We'll have to do one here. Where's the blueprint? Yeah, so it's 2 lots. So, in fact, is that 3? No, because that's... Yeah, so it would fit 2, you know, 2 rail bits between it. Because I've also got to think about the actual support things, which have like this horribly short distance between them. So yeah, that's the type of thing I'm thinking about fiddling about with when I get back to Nauvis, essentially, and say do purple and gold. What else do we get? There's some other stuff that we get with gold that would be very useful. I was thinking about. Oh, the new, yeah. So well, obviously we can do, in theory, we could do some of the Fulgoran sciences. But yeah, there's like the nuclear reactor, level 2 power armor. It's just regular gold. And then level 2 roboports, all of the military stuff opens up. So yeah, that's kind of why I want to get them, you know, working instead of just continuing on Fulgora for now. Yeah, cool. Crikey. The corners and T-junctions can be tricky because of the support needed, so it can take some fine-tuning, but the second rail, 2 rail space between is definitely doable. You can increase the distance a bit. Just place down 3 supports, or whatever max distance the game allows. Remove the 2 outer ones. Copies what is left and place it behind itself. Beside itself, rather. Get a further range between supports that way. I think that's what causes my T-junctions and corners to be trickier. Yeah, so I'll have to get into that once we've actually got elevated rail. Cool. So yeah, so I will leave this just chugging away. You won't kind of miss anything, I don't think, in the series, and then we will pick up in 2 weeks' time, because I will not be streaming next week. That is it for this weekend. I will not be streaming next weekend because it is a bank holiday in the UK. As I keep saying, I will be taking that time. It's a working holiday. I'm taking some extra days as well, so I need to take some stuff down the tip and all sorts. But yes, I will not be streaming next weekend, and I'll use that time to catch up on the videos. The videos I'm talking about are available on my YouTube channel. If you're watching on Twitch, then you can also watch on YouTube the streams, because I stream to both. But also there you'll find the archive of all the Friday Facts videos that I used to do, as well as the lore speculation ones that I'm currently doing as the replacement. I'm kind of hoping for 2.1 we will get some Friday Facts, that they'll actually tell us what they're thinking about. But my understanding is that they've not even really started properly thinking about 2.1. They're still just focusing on bug fixing, and I think taking a break, taking it a bit easier. Because I think it was pretty horrible getting the actual release out. I know Aaron does talked about on his devlogs for space exploration that I think it sort of wiped him out doing the end bit for the expansion. But yes, so no streams next week. I'll be using that time to make more of the videos, trying out some batch production, which should take me up till Christmas, and then maybe I can work on something like a what I want in 2.1 type video. When we get back, although it's got the question mark on the end there, we will be picking up a new series doing... Oh, thank you very much for the follow, very kind. Look at all. What's I saying? Yes, so we will be picking up a... do you notice how I tried to position that so it bounces on my head? I thought that was funny. Yes, a Crastorio 2, Spaced Out, it's called, is the modified mod for Crastorio 2 that makes it compatible with Space Age. So it's basically a Crastorio 2 plus Space Age playthrough. Which day I do which one on, I don't know. I will probably keep it fixed though, so like the Saturday will always be maybe Crastorio 2, and then Sunday will be this Space Age, you know, parameterization one. Maybe at some point we'll actually do parameterizing again. But yes, that's so it'll alternate then. I've then got, I do have other holiday because I've just not used it in October, so that'll be another chance for me to make some videos, I think, because I'm not going anywhere. So I'll catch you in 2 weeks. So thank you very much, Matthew Delaney, and buy it as well, Bacon Magician. So that's all the stuff. I guess I mean, it is worth just noting. So if you're on YouTube, you can watch on Twitch, and if you're watching Twitch, you watch on YouTube. So you do have your options. If you want to follow me on socials, Blue Sky's the only one I'm even vaguely active on. I'm not really a social media, type person, which hurts the channel. But I guess the other thing to note, I do have memberships currently that get the big perk on that, or the only perk I really offer at the moment, is early access to those videos. And for example, there's no law speculation video next month, September, because I'm behind with the production, but there will be these quick tutorial videos that I do. They're already live for members. What the value of that is to you, I don't know. It's only a £5 membership, but I don't think that's enough, if I'm honest. But I only have 2 members, and big shout out to my members. I keep forgetting to do that. It's very much appreciated, but it's not really a community or anything like that. It's not big enough, and I don't think I'm good enough at that self-promotion and all that sort of stuff in order to get people to subscribe. But what I want to do is I want to have more member exclusive things in order to give people a reason to subscribe. At the moment, you've got the early access, and there are some outtake videos. They're literally 3 minutes long though, so it's not a lot of value to it. So that's me. I shouldn't do that, should I? I'm downplaying my own memberships, but I am thinking of turning them off for the time being, and to give me a chance maybe to make some stuff that is a bit more interesting for members to be subscribed to. Wow. I mean, at some point the channel might get 1,000 followers or whatever it is, subscribers, and then I'll get ad revenue. I'm sure I'll be absolutely minted from ad revenue. All the ads that I'm sure you all watch. Yeah. Okay. So back in 2 weeks. If you have been watching, I hope you've enjoyed it, and you might consider coming back for another one. I've been Trismegistus. This has been Factorio. Thanks for watching. Cheers.